Chapter 1, Imam Hussain alayhi salam's generosity. Imam Hussain alayhi salam was traveling when he met the dehydrated army led by Hur ibn Yazid. Although he knew that the army had been sent to stop him, he still offered them and their horses water. This gives us an idea of Imam Hussain alayhi salam's generosity. On the day of Ashura, which is the 10th of Muharram, Hur repented and asked Imam Hussain alayhi salam for forgiveness. Imam Hussain alayhi salam forgave Hur ibn Yazid and said to him, "You have now acquired a great deal of good and a great reward." Chapter 2, Loyalty of the People Towards Their Imam alayhi salam. One night before his martyrdom, Imam Hussain alayhi salam went to his companions to say, "The night has already covered you, so ride it as a camel, and let each man among you take with him one man from my Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So may Allah reward you all. Disperse to your cities and villages, for these folks are after me, and if they get hold of me, they will not seek others." To this Zuhair ibn al-Kan said, "By Allah, I wish I will be killed, then brought back to life, then killed again, and so on for thousands of times, and that Allah, the Most Exalted, the Great, will let such fighting keep you and these youths from among your Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam alive." Chapter 3, Martyrdom of Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam. Hazrat Qasim was the young son of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, the grandson of Imam Ali ibn Abu Talib alayhi salam, and he was trained by Hazrat Abbas ibn Ali alayhi salam. Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam took permission from his mother, Bibi Farwa salamullah alayha, to fight. Then he went to his uncle Imam Hussain to ask for his permission to fight. Imam Hussain alayhi salam told him, "Qasim, you are young, you are the only child of your mother. Qasim, you are my brother's son. I have promised my brother to look after you. My darling Qasim, you are the image of my brother. You remind me of Hassan. No, Qasim, no. I cannot allow you to die." Hazrat Qasim was very disappointed and went to his mother for help. His mother reminded him of the taweez his father had tied to his arms. He opened the taweez and found a letter for Imam Hussain alayhi salam inside. Imam Hussain read the letter from his brother Imam Hassan alayhi salam. "Brother Hussein, a day will come when Islam will need to be saved by sacrifice. Hussein, I will not be alive on that day. However, my son Qasim will be there. It is my wish that Qasim should represent me on that day." He then allowed Hazrat Qasim to go to fight. While fighting, the string of Hazrat Qasim's sandal was cut off. He stopped for a moment to tie his sandal. He leaned to mend his sandal. As he was engaged, he got attacked by a sword and fell face forward, calling Imam Hussain alayhi salam. When Imam Hussain came, he struck the person who had attacked Hazrat Qasim with a sword. The man screamed, which resulted in the cavalry of Ibn Sa'd charging to rescue him. This led to the horses on each side running towards the other side. Hazrat Qasim was trampled by the horses and martyred. Chapter number 4, Martyrdom of Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. Hazrat Abbas would constantly ask Imam Hussain for permission to fight, but the Imam alayhi salam said to him, "O brother, you are my standard bearer." Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam said, "I am fed up with these hypocrites and I want to seek revenge against them." Just then, little Bibi Sakina salamullah alayha with her mushk came to Hazrat Abbas. "Uncle Abbas, look at my mushk. It is very dry. Alatash, uncle, Sakina is very thirsty, Uncle Abbas." Hazrat Abbas thought of a way to get permission from Imam Hussain. He picked up little Sakina salamullah alayha and went to Imam Hussein's tent. Hazrat Abbas sat in front of Imam Hussain with Bibi Sakina on his lap. Hazrat Abbas didn't have to say anything because Imam Hussain looked at Hazrat Abbas and then at Bibi Sakina and her mushk. Imam Hussain understood Hazrat Abbas's expression. "Abbas, how can I say no now? You have brought Sakina with you. Go, Abbas, go. Go and fill Sakina's mushk with water. One request, Abbas. Leave your sword with me. Remember, Abbas, you are not going to the fight. You are just going to get water for Sakina. Hazrat Abbas gave his sword to Imam Hussain. He kissed Bibi Sakina and put her down. He said, Sakina, pray for me. Pray that I get water for you. Hazrat Abbas had the spear and the mushk in one hand and the flag in the other hand. Everyone was scared of him. Hazrat Abbas reached the river and took water in the mushk without drinking it himself. On his way back, he was attacked from behind and both of his arms were cut off, but he held the mushk with his teeth. He was shot in the eye with an arrow. He did not lose hope until an arrow pierced through the mushk and the water started spilling. He then fell from his horse. Chapter 5, Martyrdom of Hazrat Ali Akbar alayhi salam. According to many sources, Hazrat Ali Akbar alayhi salam was martyred after Hazrat Qasim and Hazrat Abbas. Hazrat Ali Akbar asked his father, Father, may I now have permission to go for jihad? The Imam replied, My son Ali Akbar, go. You have my permission, but Akbar, my darling, go and ask permission from your mother. Go and ask permission from Zainab, your auntie, who has brought you up. Go, son, go. Hazrat Ali Akbar took permission from his mother, Bibi Layla Salamullah alayha, and then went to ask his auntie Zainab for permission. He asked Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha, Auntie Zainab, tell me one thing. Whose life is more important, your Ali Akbar's or Bibi Fatma's son Hussein's? Bibi Zainab replied, My son Ali Akbar, I would sacrifice 1,000 lives to save Bibi Fatma's son Hussein's life. Hazrat Ali Akbar then asked for her permission to go, and she replied by saying, Bismillah, my son, go. My Ali Akbar, go. As he was riding to the battlefield, he heard footsteps behind him and saw that his father was running behind him. The Imam alayhi salam said, My son, Ali Akbar, I want to see you as long as I can. I will stop here, my son, but promise me you will keep on looking back after every few steps. Akbar, my darling, your old father wants to see you as long as he can. Hazrat Ali Akbar looked back every few seconds. Imam Hussain was watching him. Hazrat Ali Akbar fought bravely like a lion, but then a few soldiers together attacked Hazrat Ali Akbar. One crept up to him and thrust a spear into his chest. The spear penetrated his chest. The handle broke, a sharp blade stuck into Hazrat Ali Akbar's heart. He felt he felt faint. According to some sources, Hazrat Ali Akbar did not call his father to come to see him. Imam Hussain was alone and Hazrat Ali Akbar did not want to bother his old father, so he said, O father, accept my last salam to you. Chapter 6, Martyrdom of Hazrat Ali Asghar alayhi salam. Imam Hussain alayhi salam said, Is there anyone to help me? Is there anyone to help the grandson of the Holy Prophet? When Imam Hussain returned to the camp, Bibi Zainab told him that Hazrat Ali Asghar had fallen from his cradle and started crying when he called for help. Imam Hussain carried Hazrat Ali Asghar to the battlefield. He held him high with both hands and said, O soldiers of Yazid, you feel I have offended you, but what has this child done to you, little child, done to you? His mother's milk has dried up. He has not had a drop of water for 3 days. He is dying of thirst. I beg you to give water to this innocent child. Hormala shot a three-headed arrow that pierced through Hazrat Ali Asghar's neck. Imam Hussein's hands were now covered by Hazrat Ali Asghar's blood. He looked at the ground, but a voice from the ground said, No, Hussein, do not let Ali Asghar's blood fall to the ground. Otherwise, no crops will ever grow from this earth. Hussein looked up at the sky. No, Hussein, do not let the blood gush towards the sky. Otherwise, no drop of rain will ever fall from the sky. Out of options, Imam Hussein wiped Hazrat Ali Asghar's blood on his face. Chapter 7, Martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. When Imam Hussain alayhi salam was going to fight, he told his horse Zuljana to move, but he didn't. Imam Hussain then realized that his little daughter Bibi Sakina was holding one of Zuljana's legs. Bibi Sakina was used to sleeping on Imam Hussain alayhi salam's chest. Imam Hussain laid down on the sands of Karbala. Little Bibi Sakina put her head on her father's chest. After a few seconds, Bibi Sakina got up and said, "Go, father, go. Fi aman Allah, father." Imam Hussain fought like a lion. By the end, his body was full of arrows and he fell from Zuljana. Shimr, the most evil of Yazid's men, walked to Imam Hussain. He had a big dagger in his hand. Imam made a request to him. "O Shimr, I know your intention. I beg of you to give me a little time to do two sajdah." Imam Hussain did the first sajdah on the musallah of arrows. He said, "O Allah, all praise is to you, and you alone." Imam Hussain lifted his head and went down to perform his second sajda. Shimr did not let Imam Hussain lift his head from the last sajda. The earth trembled, the sky turned black. Imam Hussain had been martyred in Karbala. Chapter 8, Injustices Done to the Ahlul Bayt Women after the martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Bibi Sakina, the young daughter of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, had her earrings forcibly snatched from her ears, causing them to bleed. This incident is often recounted to illustrate the brutality faced by the children of Ahlul Bayt. After the martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and his companions, the enemy forces set fire to the tents of the Ahlul Bayt. The women and children were forced to flee from the burning tents, enduring both physical and emotional trauma. Bibi Sakina was slapped and abused by the enemy soldiers. One specific incident is when she asked for water and instead of being given water, she was slapped on the face. Her cheeks had turned purple because of the slaps. The Bibis and Imam Sajjad were imprisoned and Bibi Sakina Salamullah alaiha took her last breaths in prison. She was slapped and taunted by the Yazidis. According to many sources, the enemy forces, in a bid to humiliate and degrade the family of the Prophet, snatched the scarves, hijabs, from the heads of the women. By forcibly removing their scarves, the captors aimed to strip the women of their honor and subject them to public humiliation. Chapter 9, Abuse to the Bodies of the Martyrs. The lifting of the heads of the martyrs on spears after the Battle of Karbala is one of the most heart wrenching and tragic events in Islamic history. This act symbolized the ultimate desecration and humiliation inflicted upon the family of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, by the forces of Yazid ibn Muawiyah. According to many sources, the bodies of the martyrs were trampled by horses. Chapter 10, Miracles of the Head of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha, fed up of the injustice, raised her hands to curse the Yazidis, but she saw tears coming out of the eyes of Imam Hussain alayhi salam while his head was on a spear. Bibi Shireen was Imam Hussain alayhi salam's kanis, who Imam Hussain alayhi salam freed. She requested the Imam to come to meet her with his family. The Imam said that what if we come and you don't recognize us? Bibi Shireen thought this was impossible, that the holy Imam would come to meet her and she wouldn't recognize him. She had a big house, so when Ibn Ziyad's army came, they requested to stay at her house. They brought the Bibis as prisoners and the heads of the martyrs. Bibi Shireen did not recognize them until Bibi Zainab Salamullah alaiha told her that the head on the spear was Imam Hussain alayhi salam's. As Imam Hussain had said, Bibi Shireen did not recognize him and his family. Chapter 11, Lessons we learned from Karbala and how to implement them in current times. The biggest lesson we learned from Karbala is that we should always fight for justice and never bow down to evil. Namaz is the most important, as Imam Hussain alayhi salam didn't miss his namaz even during the fight. Imam Hussein's soldiers even died while they were blocking the arrows so that they didn't hit the Imam alayhi salam and his family while they were praying. As Muslims, we should learn from Imam Hussain alayhi salam. He sacrificed himself and his whole family for justice. And now in Palestine, so many people are dying. The Israelis aren't even sparing women and children. The Muslim Ummah needs to wake up. We need to fight the Pharaoh/Yazid of our time.